right, so we're going to start off. We need our picture plane, and and this is Brian, by the way. I'm going to scooch down a little bit and draw this a little bit smaller so that I have room for the top part of it. So that's going to be our picture plane. We're looking at the top view, like I kind of explained. And I'm going to need my object. In this case, let's see if I can just kind of fake this. There's my cube, and I'm going to rotate it off at some angle. Like I said, don't go exactly 45 and don't go too close to parallel. So somewhere in between. Let's try that. And I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so I have more room. So this is the beginning of my layout. Now I need the station point, and that doesn't have to be in any relation to this cube. So I'm going to do that off to the side a little bit just to make things interesting. So that is a top view of the person looking at the object. So next I need a parallel, no, what is that? Thank you. Perpendicular, not parallel. And I'm going to change some of these colors just so that it gets a little easier to. So this green line is going to be called my center line of vision. And now what I need is I need some parallel lines to the sides of my object. So I'm going to use this little handy thing. This would be your adjustable triangle. And so I've got the parallel. It needs to go through the station point. And let's do these in, let's just say red. So I'm going to go over here. And where I hit the picture plane, the top view of the picture plane, that is my first vanishing point. And now I got to do the opposite side over here. So I'm just going to find the parallel. And this tells me that I'm at 61 degrees, which is fine. And you can see this is looking different from the one on the board. All right, so these points here, that one is my left vanishing point, and this one. And the more precise you can get, like make sure you're actually really at that cross. So use thin lines and double check because it gets compoundedly more wrong if you're a little bit off. So this is my right VP, vanishing point. And this is my left VP. And once again, what I did is I went parallel to these sides, but starting at my viewpoint. Yes, I am. I hope so. I've done some of these where I get to the end, I'm like, oh, it didn't actually hit record. All right, so next step is I should make sure that I'm within my cone of vision by, and I'm going to erase this, but I need to draw a 60 degree triangle in here and make sure that my objects are all within that 60 degree triangle. It looks like I'm close to that, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. All right, so next step is our measuring line, and in this case, I'm gonna go this way, off to the other side. You can't see which direction I'm pointing to when I say this way, but I'm gonna use this side just so it's not, because it's pretty tight on the other side, and it's gonna get all jumbled up. So this pink line is my measuring line. And what else? Wait, step aside just for a second. What else do I need? Okay, let's start right there for now. And now, independently, I need basically the front view of this whole scene. So first off, I'm going to pick, this is where everybody was a little bit confused. Where am I starting my horizon line? Because I know I'm going to be looking down on these objects, I'm going to start the horizon line kind of up near the top of my paper. So this is the HL, or horizon line. And now I need my ground line, and that is the point where the picture plane meets the ground plane. That is this distance, and In this case, I'm just going to pick a point. I'm going to guess about there. And this is my ground line. So once again, these two pieces are related to each other, but this to this view down here are really two separate things. So the space in between here doesn't really matter. But we got to transfer everything up to it. All right, so next step is to transfer up our vanishing points to our horizon line. So let's get a new color. Well, because those were red before, we'll follow with red. Not to that one. We're going to jump over that all the way up to here. So there is my left vanishing point on the horizon line. And I got to do the same over here. I'm going to jump over that one because that doesn't matter. And here is my right vanishing point. Okay, so here's the next point of confusion is I'm going to transfer, I'm going to go back to my pink color. This is our measuring line. So now I'm going to transfer this measuring line up. Now, in this case, what I really want to see is where that measuring line hits the ground line. So that's this point right here. Measuring line meets GL. And now I need to find the height of my cube, and because these two are related, I can measure, and I'm going to use what you should use for ease of doing this is just use your compass. So I'm going to simulate that by assuming I put my compass point on one corner, and then I measure out a length, make a little arc.
Do this, right?
What?
We could not do this. Right?
You cannot do this?
We use the circle.
You use your compass.
We could not choose to not use the compass.
Yes, you could choose not to use it by just measuring that line and then transferring that measurement up. I'm just showing you one way to do it, but basically we want that same measurement. So if I had my compass, I'd put the point on here, I'd draw a little arc up there, and I would get that height now, like I said. So let's just do this. So this distance here, because we have a cube, is the same as this distance here, because we just measured it. Sometimes, like I said, I get really, doesn't even matter. I take a piece of paper and I just mark two little ticks. That's how long it is. Now I use that piece of paper as an impromptu measuring tool. All right, so now I think we're ready to start mapping this out. So let's go, I'm going to turn the opacity down a little bit on this level, go to a new level. We'll start with blue. And so I'm going to go from the right vanishing point, whoops, did this wrong. So I'm using a Sketchbook Pro to do this, and the one nice thing is it gives you these little pins so I can kind of rotate through that vanishing point. So I found that point now on the where the measuring line meets the ground line, and there's my first perspective line coming out into space. And now I'm going to do the one to the top, and I'm going to keep my right vanishing point where it is. And I'm just going to swing this up till where it goes through the top of that line. I'm going to draw my next line coming out into space. All right, so now the cube, we need to go back to our bottom view. Let's choose yet another color. We'll go orange. So now we need to find out what that projected cube will look like on the picture plane. So I'm standing at my station point, and I'm seeing what those little light rays going through from my eyeball through the edge of the object, where that's going to hit the picture plane. So I got to do that on each corner. And you'll see that these are a little close, so it's going to get, I'm not going to see much of this edge. I should have done this a little bit. But let's carry on. And through that back corner. All right, so those are the 4 points that I need to now transfer up into the 3D front space. So I've got this point, this point, this point, and that point where all those intersect the picture plane from my top view down here. We'll call this top. And now we'll go into our front view, and we just project these straight up, 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 up. And you would use your triangle edge to get those verticals. And look, I've already got one side of my box here. And like I said, there's lots of different ways to kind of get at to get your information in perspective. But in this case, I can actually start piecing together some stuff by going now to my left vanishing point, swinging down. So I've got one side of the box. I know that this is going to go to that corner. I could project this up. And like I said, this is going to be a really distorted side. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing the wrong thing. What am I doing? Oh, I see. Sorry about that. I didn't make these lines long enough. This point here, so this is where it kind of helps to know what you're doing, because I just almost screwed up. So this side, let's go green. This side right here, we're looking at that whole side, right? I started thinking that this was the side, but it's actually the back of the box. So let's follow these points up. I go, one is right here, so that's the beginning of it. The other one was way over here, so that's the end of it. So I actually need to project these blue lines a little bit longer. Are you guys following me on that? I think once I sketch it in, you'll see. So these blue lines need to be a little bit longer. And X that out. And now, so one side of this box, the side I see, starts here, goes up, goes over, crosses here and here. The other side, or the other upright, let's call it, crosses here, goes way over to here, so it's here and here. So now I need to connect these 4 dots. That's one side of my box, and I'm definitely a little distorted, but, and let's go black now. Put this over here. And thicken this up a little bit. So there's one edge. Here's another edge. And here's one vertical. Here's the other vertical. Okay, now this is where I was talking about. That other side is going to get a little distorted, but let's go with it. I need my T-square, or sorry, my straight edge. I'm going to go from the left vanishing point. It's totally distorted. Totally distorted. Say it again?
If you get closer to the ground plane, it will be distorted more.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Yeah, it's getting distorted right off the bottom. Whoops. And then we're going to go back to here. And now I'm going to move over to, scooch this over, right vanishing point. And so this is another area where I didn't quite draw these lines long enough, but I got to find that point right here where those cross. And then from my right vanishing point through there, and then down from there. And let's draw it like it's hollow glass or whatever. So I'll need to do put my left vanishing point. Another drawing falls off the wall from tape. So, and now right vanishing point, and we're almost done. Behind there. X that out, and this goes up there. So that is just hideously distorted. What did I do wrong? I'm going to stop right there. Oops.